how many legal migrants came to the country in 2022. The answer is 745,000. That's 140,000 more than was expected. We've already taken a reaction from Harjap. What is your response to the reaction so far to those figures, Aria?
Yes, so we can see that the government's fixation with these numbers and the fixation of some MPs with these numbers is, let's face it, it's a continuing distraction from the real issues that are facing ordinary people across this country. People move, we move all the time, and that's a fact of life. It's not a problem to be solved. There's been a lot of focus on the number of people who are coming into the UK, but let's remember that the ONS figures also talk about British people going out, moving out to other countries as well. So again, people move, whether it's to the next town, across the border to a different country. That's always been a fact of our lives, not a problem to be solved. So the real story here for us isn't the numbers, but the stories of the people behind those numbers. And we are talking about our neighbors, our co-workers, people who have chosen to come to this country and build a life here. Now, we think that we all deserve to live fully and to be able to thrive in our communities. And so the question really is for the government is how can they really make sure that when people do want to come here, they are able to travel here safely. And when they arrive, that they're able to get decent housing, decent work, and that they can settle in with our communities should they choose to. Now, as for the stats themselves, I'd like to pull out two key highlights here. One is, as already mentioned, the fact that people are coming to the UK because we need them, and in particular in our healthcare and social care sectors, which are currently on their knees and at breaking point. So we do need people to come and work as part of our workforce, as part of our communities. The second thing that we wanted to highlight is actually has to do with asylum and the humanitarian routes and settlement that are available. And what is absolutely shocking in these figures is that despite the fact that we know that there's more and more people around the world who are in urgent need of safety, some of them are coming to this country, the figures show that our figure for actually how many people we were able to resettle is shockingly low. And there was essentially a free fall from the previous year where we were able to resettle 20,000 people to this year ending in 2023 to just 3,000 people. And that is a real shame for our country. And the reason why these changes are happening, the changes in the figures are happening both in the sort of work sector, but also in the asylum and humanitarian area, is a direct result of government policies. And unfortunately, what we know is that these policies are completely out of step with real lives and what caring communities, what real British people actually want.
All right, now, Aria, let me stop you there because I've got no idea when you're going to stop talking, so I have to stop you. I'm sorry, I hope it doesn't appear discourteous. Let me go to Peter Cardwell on this. I mean, Aria states it very clearly. You know, people move, they move. Why is that a problem? That's just what happens. And then she also said most, decent real British people won't mind that at all. All they'll really want is just for everybody to be happy and live wherever they want to live. I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, I would, I respectfully disagree with Ariane. I think there is a real political problem here. I think it is a problem to be solved because there are a lot of people coming to the country. Many of them are welcome and they do prop up the health service. There's no doubt about that. But there are also over 1 million people in this country who are without jobs, who are unemployed. We've got to ask the question why. There are many of those who could do some of these jobs but haven't chosen to. And certainly we've heard about that previously in the discussion. I think it's really interesting for the government's perspective in that there are, 744,000, you're talking about a population larger than the size of Manchester coming to this country. That inevitably puts pressure on public services, that inevitably puts pressure on schools, healthcare, people not being able to get GPs appointments and so on. British people certainly are very open, welcoming and tolerant, but certainly there is certainly a sense and a very big political problem in this sense that Brexit was supposed to give us back control of our borders. Many people don't feel that's the case, including the New Conservatives and including Keir Starmer as well. So you've got Rishi Sunak on this being attacked from both left and right. So this is a big political problem, and with respect to Aria, it is a problem to be solved because many people feel there is too much immigration to this country.
Let me bring Harjap into this. Harjap, do you think immigration is a problem to be solved or just a fact of life? People move, people live in all sorts of different places. Why is that a problem? Do you feel it is a problem after you do spend your entire life battling this very problem, don't you?
I think we've got quite a few issues mixed up in here. There's an element of people who think, well, hold on, we don't want people from abroad coming to take our jobs. My take on that has always been, well, you've got migrants who are crossing the channel on boats, and if you're worried about them taking your jobs, they have no skills, they have no language skills, and they come here with a shirt on their back. Now, if that type of person threatens you and your livelihood, maybe you need to up your game. That's what I always say in the first instance. But if somebody's coming here, it's at the bequest, it's at the request of British businesses. Now, who do governments listen to? Who are they lobbied by? Do they listen to the masses who put them there? Do they listen to their donors, who are big businesses? Or do they listen to the CBEI and industry, who are saying, well, hold on, our whole industry is going to fail if you do not allow workers to come through? Do they listen to the farmers who actually voted for Brexit but now are feeling the impact of it and now are crying out for foreign workers to come back and pick that fruit and work in the farms with those jobs which they thought the British public were going to fill? So I think that the British public needs to is at a crossroads and needs to answer the question: is it going to get up and do these jobs that the foreigners do? If no, then it should have no objection to foreigners coming over and doing those jobs.
Very clearly said.
Yes, then
thank you. I'm going to stop you there. Thank you so much for joining. Obviously,